to start each episode with a nice blast of Dominican cigar smoke. It's pretty to look at, and it tastes good, and it's kind of atmospheric, man, if you know what I mean. And it's my way of saluting you folks for tuning in, because I am very grateful. And we are going to say cheers. We're happy to have you with us. Thank you so much. Here's to you. Gone but not forgotten. Now, what we like to do here at Two Hands and a Face Audio is take a hard look at new, old, in the middle music equipment and share what we're learning and what we're finding with you. On this occasion, we're having a quick look at the Boss 500H volume pedal. Now, the H in this case is for high impedance. They have another model that's 500L for low impedance. You'll find the low impedance volume pedals are a better match for instruments that have active pickups, like guitars that take a 9-volt battery that have an active pickup. That's the pedal for you. The 500H is the high impedance model with the greater degree of potentiometer resistance, and I've got my passive Charvel here that I'm using to demonstrate it. And my cigar is also passive. It takes no batteries to smoke this cigar. The whiskey I just downed, also passive. So we're running a passive program on this occasion. And what I want to say about the Boss 500H volume pedal is that it is singularly the toughest, most physically robust volume pedal I've ever seen or used or picked up. The damn thing is enormous. You could just about drive it to your gig. And it's heavy, which means it stays put under the rigors of the gig. And it's also extremely tough. It's well built. I'm not kidding when I say you can easily stand on it without fear of damaging it. Hell, you could chock the wheels of a dump truck with a couple of these things. But the real point here is size and weight and durability, to me, are key for a volume pedal. This one's nice and big. I got an 11.5 wide shoe going on, and the interim size and the micro size volume pedals kind of disappear under my foot. It's uncomfortable to figure out where my foot is on the device, and it's awkward, during a gig to set the volume where I want it to be. Not with this pedal. This is a great perch for a bigger guy with a bigger foot. The durability is also an asset, and I'm going to just demonstrate a couple of passes of what it does. It's got its own taper that kind of curves at the top. It's something you can readily embrace depending on what you're used to, or maybe take a slight learning curve and get used to it. I've gigged with this pedal. It has served me well, and I've only had it a couple of weeks. So introducing it'll definitely get you there, depending on how you use a volume pedal. I use mine at different levels to project different levels of distortion, because when you don't want to switch out of the dirt channel, you just want to back it off a little bit, a volume pedal is your saving grace. And I'll demonstrate what I mean by that by kicking in some distortion. So we've got a big, robust distortion sound. If I want to take the pedal and back it off to this point, then I've got a diminished distortion, more of the old arena rock kind of tune, where I can step into it hard. All the way up. Taper, you've got a very, very important tool for your stage rig. I can bring it all the way back in. And to say a bit about the internal construction of this pedal, every time I get something new, I got to take it apart and see what it looks like and how it operates, and this was no exception. So I took the back off of this pedal, or the bottom plate, because I wanted to look at the mechanism. As you know, volume pedals are consistently either a rack and pinion kind of thing, where you've got the tooth shaft that moves up and down with the geared wheel on the shaft of your potentiometer. You've got a cable and tensioner, which is one of the more famous ones. I won't mention the brand name, but the cable and tensioner, it's a spring that adapts to the level of tension on a cable. It's basically a string, it's not a cable. And the first one, the rack and pinion, will jam up on you at some point. There has to be a profound system of stabilizing that shaft to keep it in the right direction and keep it moving correctly, and it's got to be long enough to do its job. That's not always the case. And the string and tension spring, man, when that string breaks, you've got a nightmare on your hands to repair it. I've done it. It's beyond tedium. It is a gigantic pain in the ass. So nix on that one. The optical ones are either going to require electricity or light operation to operate the optoresistor inside of it. So, you know, as you all know, you play in a gig, you're on a dark stage, you cannot rely on the lighting. This pedal, the Boss 500H, is unique in its mechanism. Think of locomotive wheels from an old train locomotive from the 19th century. Basically, your foot is the piston, which connects by way of a very hardy steel shaft to a hinged lever inside of the pedal. Think of that as a coupling rod. So on its far end, it's connected to a round socket that is locked and keyed onto the shaft of your potentiometer. So basically, without getting into too much mechanical detail with no visual reference, it works like the wheels of a locomotive. It is the toughest, the hardiest, and the most reliable mechanism I've ever seen in a volume pedal. Whatever this pedal is or is not to you, I can tell you this, it ain't gonna break. And it's not going to let you down in the middle of a gig. It's going to do what it does consistently, and it's probably going to do it. This one's going to last my lifetime. That is the toughest and most logical mechanism I've seen yet for the mechanics of a volume pedal. So I hope that you will give this thing a chance, man. Go to your store. Boss product, thankfully, is easy to find, even in a brick and mortar situation. You can always get it online, but go have a look at your local music store. If it's one of the bigger chains, chances are they'll have one of these, man, and you can lay hands and eyes on it if you can lift it. And it's gigantic, and it stays put, and the mechanism inside is as hardy and solid as you could possibly imagine. And I hope that you will go have a look at one, man. They're wonderful pedals, worthy of the Boss name. Because if there's nothing else we know about Boss, is that it's reliable, solidly built gear. So go have a look at the Boss 500H volume pedal. If you have a guitar with active pickups, go have a look at the Boss 500L. So either way, give it a chance, give it a try, and thank you so much for being with us. Hit that subscribe button. Use a lit cigar. Use a finger if you want to. Great big hammer is fine. Come and join us again. We'd love to see you. Have a great day, night, week, evening, etc. Be well.